Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you are well. So, today I'm going to talk about the prison system. I was reading an article and I thought it was interesting because I'm not sure if you heard of this already before, but I had never heard about it. People investing in wrongful convictions. So, I'm going to go over it briefly. Like, people invest in the stock market, they invest in real estate, invest in commodities, land, whatever other assets you can think of. But according to this article, there are people that invest in wrongful convictions. So there are private firms that are backed by venture capitalists and private investors. What they do is they invest their money in for someone who is wrongfully convicted. And so what they do is they put cash advance in to exonerees in the hopes to get a substantial payback. And so they're getting like 30% return on their money. And some are even doubling their money or more than doubling their money. So they gave examples of putting $100,000 in and getting $300,000 back. And so I just thought that was weird that is it's an actual practice and it's an actual place that investors meet to invest their money. Private investors, private firms do this. And again, it's backed by venture capitalists. You put in 100,000, you get 300,000 back. The average return is 30% on your money. So this is called litigation funding. Um, the thing is that you collect the money if and when the exoneree wins the case. So the exoneree has to win the case. And so they gave a percentage on people who are wrongly convicted when it comes to prison. And they have a percentage that they know exists. And the percentage is 2 to 5%. So imagine being in a prison system and they already know the number. Like this is a known fact that out of the number of people that are in prison, 2 to 5% have no reason being there. And so I think that's weird that they know the number. Like they know that there is a problem and it's 2 to 5%. So say there are 1,000 people in prison. So I don't know if you ever been to a prison before or a jail before, but if you haven't, you should go just so you'll know um, never to return to a place like that. And if you have children, especially if you have sons, take your son for a field trip to a prison or jail and show him early. So think about that field trip, especially if you have a son. Take him early and show him. So 2 to 5% wrongly convicted. So say there are 1,000 inmates. So they already know that 2 to 5% are wrongly convicted. So out of 1,000 people, that translates into anywhere from 20 people that have no business being there to 50 people that have no reason to be there. So you're in a room of 1,000 inmates, and 20 to 50 people should not be there, wrongly convicted. So they have statistics. In the past few decades, the government has paid $2.9 billion to Americans for wrongful conviction. That's 2.9 billion. So what they do is they have a guy there who was wrongly convicted. He's in jail or prison for like 20 years of his life. More than likely starting around the age of 20. They get them young. They get them young. So starting around 20, then you're there for 20 years. So if you win the lawsuit, they pay $318,000 for each year served in prison. $318,000 for each year served in prison. So there are 38 states that offer wrongful conviction lawsuits against the government. It's lengthy and it's very costly. So there's a group called Tribeca Capital Group, if anyone is watching and they have family members in the situation, just take note of the names that I mentioned. There is a group called Tribeca Capital Group. It's spelled Tribeca, Tribeca Capital Group. So this is a litigation firm and they offer funding for wrongful conviction cases. So since 1989, they have a registry. It's called the National Registry of Exoneration. So they have found that there has been 2,795 exonerations in the United States, totaling 25,000 years lost behind bars. So there's an organization called After Innocence. So take note of that name. Um, if you know someone who's in a situation or something, there is a group called After Innocence. So this is the organization that helps the wrongly convicted after innocence. So if and when they decide to sue the government, they have to show that there was misconduct that took place. There was a confession that was, um, you know how they do, how they push confessions out of people through some kind of punishing acts to get them to say what they want to say. So that had to be going on, or they had to be information that was manufactured. So you have an officer that is manufacturing, like actually making up stuff. So this is what's going on. They stated that the state of Michigan has the highest number of exonerees. So the state of Michigan has alone has paid $22 million. And they also have a unit called the Conviction Integrity Unit. So there's a special unit called the Conviction Integrity Unit. So I just think this whole setup is kind of weird. So you put the person in prison. You have an investor here who is investing and they're making 30% of their money or doubling their money. They gave an example, putting in 100K and getting 300K out. And then you have these special task force to work on these lawsuits, like the Conviction Integrity Unit. And then there's also the Tribeca Capital Group and the After Innocence Group. So they interviewed this one guy who he was in the state of Michigan. So he was there starting at the age of 20. Like I said, they get them there very young. They get them young. So he was there for about 20 years. And so he started a nonprofit called Better Not Broken Nonprofit. So if you know anybody in the situation, just Google Better Not Broken Nonprofit, and then you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I just thought this was kind of weird how the system is set up. Like you have actual investors. So people investing in real estate over here, people investing in the stock market, people investing in commodities, people investing in land. You heard of people trading options, which is not really a form of investing, but you heard of people trading options. And then on this side, you have people investing in the prison system. So, what's going on here is another reason to why it's good to get your money together, um, so that you don't have to be at the mercy of other people. Getting your money together and then uh, staying away from people who are dirty, staying away from people who are in trouble. Like, don't even be affiliated with them. Like, if you know somebody is out here doing wrong, don't even be affiliated with them. Don't be in the car with them. Don't be walking with them. Don't be talking with them. And just be smart out here. All right. Be smart and do the right thing. All right. So if you like the show, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss the episode. Also, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your night.